He is one of those very special residents of Bharatnagar who has grown up from son of Bharatnagar to the son of Bharat. So, welcome Shreya. Please, stage is yours.
I am pleased to welcome all of you today in this function to release the autobiography of my grandfather, B.L. Vohra.
One thing I want to say here that in this country, I think this India, the inclusive country, democratic country, everybody has a chance. I think we're very lucky. You don't really necessarily need money or resources to really come up. Many of us are here, and mine is not a unique story. There are millions of such stories. People have come up, and I think we must be, at least I am very grateful to my motherland. And I think it's a message to everyone else also, all the youth. You don't have to worry. This country is a land of opportunities. The only thing you need is a bit of effort and, of course, a lot of good luck.
It is indeed an honor to publish the work of an officer who has contributed immensely to our country through his sincerity and dedication.
First of all, I would like to compliment Vohra for having written this wonderful book. As I started turning over the pages, I said, no, here is something interesting. It's a real life story of a man, you can say probably from rags to riches. Here is a man who can start from the scratch and go right up to the top. Here is a very simple story, down to earth. Vohra had the wonderful opportunity of serving as IG, DG, and then Home Secretary also in Manipur. But more commendable was, I think, his performance in Tripura. I admire what he contributed in Tripura, because Tripura was having full-blown insurgency. Because the beauty of the counter-insurgency operations in Tripura was that these were handled entirely by the police. There was no involvement of the army, and Tripura is one of the success stories of, from the counter-insurgency point of view, where it was essentially and predominantly police achievement. And the success lay in the excellent strategic planning. What they did was that they established police camps. I had occasion to study Tripura, how insurgency was dealt with. They established police camps in the heart of the areas affected by a terrorist movement. And these camps, they took the terrorists in the area head on, and that coupled with several other measures led to containment of the insurgency in Tripura. I think his contribution in Tripura was remarkable, and I think he would always look back on his contribution in that area with a sense of pride and sense of satisfaction.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vohra, most of all, for a really fantastic read. The fundamental problems all persist. We don't have enough police. The police we have isn't resourced adequately. The funding that we should have for modernization simply doesn't exist. Despite calls from many police officials over the years for change and reform, this hasn't happened.
I had occasion to assist the state in the Nirbhay case from the investigation and then again in the Supreme Court. And I must tell you, it was a fine example of scientific policing. I've looked at it at various aspects, dealt with 2 committee of inquiries. But if we can do it in one case, why can't we do it in all? I compliment you, sir, on being honest about the reality of what happens at the Thana and below that. And that's rare. The third aspect of the book, which and I'm personally aware of Mr. Vohra's personality, is the value he gives to relationships and friendships. Even as an officer in the IPS, his door was always open to neighbors, to persons from his residential area, Bharatnagar, irrespective of social standing and irrespective of whether they were not so well off. And he honors his friends and he honors their memories by mentioning them in his associations, that it's a refreshing change, as he's been honest and candid also about what the reality of life is and how we need a helping hand.
Well, it's been a very pleasant evening to hear distinguished panelists speak about BL's book. which I had the occasion to read as a manuscript. But I do feel that there are very serious issues relating to policing and the future of our country. Police is perhaps one of the most vital components of the entire governance system under the Constitution. It enforces law and order. And if it doesn't, I do not know how to describe what will be the consequences. Meanwhile, because of the enormous increase, 5 times, 6 times increase in population, the scale of criminality is also increased, is bound to have happened. Social, religious tensions have come to the fore, leading to communal conflicts, leading to violence. Again, a problem for the police. And this kind of situation, as Parveen mentioned in passing, when you have internal disorder, the situation on the ground is not under control, then your adversary, your neighbors, they look for this wonderful opportunity to do their own, what they have to do. So the police really faces multiple challenges from our own people, from our citizens, for omissions and commissions, for certain happenings, developments which take place because of our political activities, our democracy, free as it is. And then the external factors come in. So the police has a much bigger challenge than the army has, that the police has to be taken more seriously. And the police has to get much more support. So I will conclude here by hoping that the book which is written will trigger some serious thought about where we have succeeded, where we have failed, and why we can no longer afford to fail. Because this is connected with the future of our country. So once again, BL, my congratulations and compliments.
Good evening, everyone. It's now my proud privilege to thank the distinguished VIPs on the stage and the lovable audience in front of me. We are indeed honored and grateful that you all came for this happy occasion.